Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live watch along of the Italian Grand Prix in MotoGP. Thank you all for joining us. The race is about to begin in the next few minutes. It's in Mugello, of course, famous for being the home of Valentino Rossi. Of course, as far as I'm concerned, there isn't any fans that are able to attend this race yet again so far this season. Hopefully we'll have fans back soon, especially in Mugello, one of the famous circuits on the MotoGP calendar. Well, the safety car has just gone out on its formation lap, so 5 minutes till race start according to our feed. So it's a nice sunny day, lovely sunny afternoon in Italy. It's going to be a good one. I don't think we're going to have any rain affecting the race today. So it looks like normal conditions for most of the riders. So we're getting ready. Of course, this is round 6, and it's Quartararo who is going to be starting from pole position. So he'll be leading them out. He got pole position with a 1:45.1 yesterday in yesterday's qualifying. Of course, if we look at the starting grid then, so we got Bagnaia for Ducati in second, Zarco for third for Pramac Racing, Espargaro for Aprilia Racing Team. Then we got Miller again for Ducati, Binder for Red Bull, along with Olivier from Portugal. Then we got Rins, Mir, the two Spaniards, and then of course we got Morbidelli, two of the three Italians in the top 10. Sadly, of course, there's no Valentino Rossi in that top 10. Marc Marquez 11th and Espargaro 12th at the moment. That's the other Espargaro from Repsol Honda. So we're just the riders just stretching before they get themselves on the bike. If you haven't yet, get in touch, folks, on our live chat page. Let us know where you're watching the Italian Grand Prix from today. Are you from Europe? Are you in the Americas watching? Who you going for today? Who will win the 2021 MotoGP Italian Grand Prix? And of course, if you haven't as well, do subscribe. We are doing all the MotoGP races whenever we're available, as long as the F1 as well for your motorsport. So we do F1 and MotoGP. Anyway, we're just waiting for them to get ready for the race. It should start in just a moment. Alias says, go, 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 go. Ventura says, are you going to stream it? No, we're going to stream you the leaderboard. That's to the left of the screen. That's a live leaderboard. We can't show you the race because, of course, copyright. We don't have the rights to show the race. This is a live stream watch along. So the difference is with watch alongs, it's more watching together as fans, watching the race together. So if you haven't got access to the race, I'll keep you updated as much as I can by giving you commentary of the race, if that at all helps. Let's have a look at more of your comments. DJ Julie says, go, go, go. Dimas Eki. Ziviana gives us the thumbs up. Thanks, Ziviana. I think we got someone speaking in Russian there, which sadly I can't understand that language, but if you can translate, that would be fantastic. I'd love to read your message out properly. So, we're getting ready. Riders, start your engines. And as usual, we'll have our warm-up lap. And so it looks as though in the air it's 23 degrees. On track it's around 105 Fahrenheit. So really, I think pretty much between now and the end of the race, it will be conditions of a very warm race. Norbert says, go Mario Aggi. DJ Julie says, rest in peace for Jessen. Yeah, absolutely horrible. In case any of you haven't seen, but Jessen actually passed away after suffering injuries from qualifying in Moto 3. So, Moto 2 and Moto 3 are known for the up-and-coming riders that we see in the future in MotoGP, and sadly Jensen will never get to experience it. But there was a moment of silence between all the riders before the race had started. Well, I hadn't started yet, but just before the race was going to start. So, yes, rest in peace to Jensen, it's really sad. I only found out 20 minutes ago before we came live, so I think the news only broke less than an hour ago. So really, really sad. And I'm sure on behalf of everyone that's watching, we send our wishes to the family and the condolences to the family as well. So currently on the warm-up lap. I'll just refresh the leaderboard so that it's ready for the race. Hopefully it will come up now. If you haven't yet, let us know where you're watching the race from today. Are you in Italy? Are you near the Mugello circuit at all? Let us know. Ilyas is watching from Indonesia. De Los Reyes says, shout out watching from the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you all for getting in touch. So it's really between, a lot of them are looking at it today, seeing it between Quartararo and Baggian. Oh, and one of the riders has lost his bike on the warm-up lap. It's gone off on the straight, and I don't know how that's happened. I haven't seen it, but the camera just cut to the bike coming off him. Oh no dear, this doesn't look good for Yamaha, does it? So it looks as though we're going to have one less rider than normal for the start of this race. Here we go then. So we're going to have to... I'm not sure which rider that was, to be honest. But either way, they won't be able to start without him. And he's straight away running down the pits to get on the other bike. So here we go then. The Italian Grand Prix of 2021 begins. And here they go. And straight away, Quartararo leading the front line. And he's going down the middle onto the left-hand side as they go. And he's been overtaken. Can he get it back on the first turn? Over on the outside. Oh, just couldn't get there. Camera's just changed for me, so I've not been able to see it. We've got Gregory Redding watching from Dublin. We've got Irvan watching from Indonesia. And already an interesting start. So it's around 23 laps. Let me just change that. So lap 1 of 23. Already clean straight so far from all the riders, apart from the one at the start. Oh, so Baggian now at the front. So Bagnier leading after he took over Quartararo, and there's a gap between Olivero. Olivero, hello. Olivero's gone right up there. He started in 7th, and now he's up to 3rd already within the first lap. Absolutely fantastic from Olivero there in the top 3 already. The number 88 rider. It's a 0.2 tenths of a second between Quartararo and Oliveira. Again, Oliveira, you know, he's one of those riders. Very, 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 very good to watch. So, banging, great start for him. He leads for the Ducati team. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. And, of course, if you love your MotoGP, give us a like as well. So, straight away after the first lap then, it's Baggian who takes the lead as they come down the straight. Only 23 laps in this one. So, as you can see, it's on the leaderboard now. It's updated for you, folks. Bagnier at the top. Irvan says, go, 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 63. Oh, and a rider's gone off. That's not Marc Marquez, is it? It's Marc Marquez. He's done it again. He crashed twice in the race 2 weeks ago, and he's gone off the track here at turn 3. And Marc Marquez, oh dear, just not going well for him at the moment, is it? He hasn't won any races this season, let's not forget as well. And Marc Marquez, as he's doesn't want to get used to. It was apparently the riders involved was Marc Marquez and Morbidelli. Oh, crash again, and it's Baggian, the race leader, Francesco Bagnaia has gone off, and the bike's in pieces, and it doesn't look good. He's not getting himself up quickly, which some riders do. What a start to this race though. And it was at turn 9 from Bagnaia. He had the race in his hands there. And it's him and Marc Marquez who can't seem to deal with the circuit so far in this very hot sunny day in Italy. And Joel Gerard is coming out to say Marc Marquez needs to retire on our live chat page. If you haven't yet, folks, get in touch. And we'll read out as many messages as we can. We've also got a link if you want to buy us a beer. It's in the description, so feel free to donate as it helps our channel moving forward. And already Zarco is leading as we've reached lap 3. What a start to this race. So Bagnaia and Marc Marquez have both crashed. They're still at the back. I don't know if Bagnaia will be able to carry on. The cameras are not on him after that anymore. But this is a big one here. Quartararo trying to go for the lead here. He's just been overtaken again, though, by Zarco. Zarco will hold on to it going into this turn. 21 laps to go. Johan Zarco for Pramac Racing. Really does open up this race, absolutely. In case any of you Valentino Rossi fans are wondering, he's down in 17th at the moment, which we all know if the fans were here this weekend, there would be a stand dedicated to all those VR Valentino Rossi flags, that's for sure. So Quartararo and Zarco up for it at the moment. Oliveira is third after he started in 7th, who's had a great start. And JC says, perfect day, hot track. Rian Nopani says, good luck, Valentino Rossi. JC says, very hot. It's 23 degrees. It's 40 degrees on the track. I'm from England though. I find it very, very, very warm at that weather. It's 21 degrees, I think, here in England today, especially with the weeks that we've had in this country. It's just wind and rain at the moment. QQQ says Indonesian. For anyone who's wondering why the race isn't on here, it's not. It's a live stream watch along, so this is just to watch and react to the race with you guys. If you're wondering how you can watch the race, there is a website called freelivestreams.com, and they've got the MotoGP feed on there. Here we go then. Zarco still leading as they go down to lap 4 of 23 laps. And Quartararo has taken over him on the inside. Zarco nearby along with Oliveira. And this is the great thing about MotoGP. The races are just so close. And because there's not that many laps, it makes it very exciting in the short run. So, of course, Quartararo, he got pole position in the last race in Le Mans at the French Grand Prix. And he didn't win the race last time out. So he'll be wanting to forget that and to get himself here. So Bagnaia is out. And it looks as though the stewards' incident involving Sarko and Bastianini is to be reviewed after the race. So Zarco may have to be careful here. Bagnaia, they're showing the crash again. So let's see what happened. He was leading. He just lost it. Completely lost the control. I'm not sure what happened there. Just a simple slide off the bike and into the gravel. And at least, I mean, good for him though. He was clean. He was not. He didn't end up with an incident with any of the other riders, because we've already sadly lost a rider this weekend from Moto3. And we won't want to see any more bad accidents from what's happened. And that is sadly the harsh reality of motorsport. It's sadly we have lost people in all sorts of racing series. 19 laps to go. Quartararo leading. He's 0.2 tenths ahead. Sarko second. We got Sugi Yanto saying go, 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 46 and 63. Hollis Laros says Ditonda, Karina, Adayang, Meningal. And we got We Win saying Ini Judy Ka. So it's great to have you all watching us on Let's Talk Sport. If you like your women's football as well, we've got that this evening between Lyon and PSG. And Stefano Dimicali is there watching in the garage. He must be on a nice trip out. Well, it's in Italy. He lives in Italy, of course, Stefano. So probably just down the road for him going to this race, since there's no Formula 1 this weekend. If you like your F1 as well, we're doing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix next weekend, so do join us for that. Meanwhile, back with the motor. Oh, this is a good move. 36, getting himself through. He's got to be careful he doesn't catch him. he does all right. He's done all right there. He's in between two riders at the moment, but he's doing it very cleanly. Who has put himself up to 5th. Nicely done. .7 of a second now between Zarco and Quartararo. The gap between 3rd and 4th of Oliveira, who is 3rd, and Miller, who is 4th, is 1.1 of a second. We got Unkar Chanel saying go, 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 63. Valentino Rossi is currently still in 17th. He's hardly moved at all. Bless him. Not had a race to remember so far. He's had quite a long season, and we've only had this is only our 6th race of the calendar. Camera is on board Jay Muir, who's currently 6th. Gregory Redding says he's supporting Brad Binder. Levi Romoko saying 93. Yeah. Oh! I've only just... Sorry, they're just showing a replay of it. And it was in the warm-up lap, which, of course, happened between Zarco and Bastianini. He just completely lost it and went into the back of Zarco. You know, all on the warm-up lap as well. So, 18 laps to go. If you've just tuned in, Quartararo leading with Zarco 2nd and Oliveira 3rd. We've already had Bagnaia out of the race. Marc Marquez, I think, is out of the race as well, because I haven't seen him come back. So, you know, he had 2 crashes in the Mons, and now he's had a crash, just the one today in Mugello, but it's certainly been enough to get him out of this race, unless I've completely missed what happened. But yeah, Marc Marquez. They haven't shown the replay of that. So Jack Miller 4th, Alex Rins 5th. Alex Rins has just overtaken Jack Miller for 4th, and then Miller gets it back down the straight to make it lap 7 of 23. It's been a great race so far. But yeah, if you've just tuned in, where have you been? We've seen Marc Marquez and a race leader go out. But let us know in the comments, folks, what's happened to Marc Marquez at the moment. Ekmal Redzu asking, did Bagnaia crash? Yes, he did. He was leading the race and just simply slid off his bike on a corner and just completely gone. Completely gone. Was leading the race as well after starting in 2nd and overtaking Quartararo, who is leading the race at 0.9 of a second lead over Zarco and Oliveira 3rd. Jack Miller pushing in there. Miller is 0.4 of a second ahead in 6th. They've got the onboard camera on Fabio, who's our race lead, and I do love the camera angle from inside, from pretty much the bike looking towards the helmet, and you can, at the right angles and the right light, you can see their eyes behind the visor. It's great to see. It's a great insight. Cal Rizza Ryan saying, so is Marc Marquez out? He is out. He is out. The multiple world champion is out of today's race, it seems. I'm not seeing him on the leaderboard at all. And I haven't seen him back out there on the track, so I'll be very surprised. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. And feel free to, if you want to buy me a beer or anything like that, we have a donation link in on our description, which is to help support the channel. So the battle for 4th at the moment. There's at least 5 riders going for it down the straight. DJ Julie says, hope Indonesia one day will have team in MotoGP. Is there chances of that happening at all? Has there been rumours at all, DJ? Well, I think Valentino Rossi will be glad there's no fans that have turned up to this one in Mugello, because obviously the fans can't in Italy at the moment. But I think they'll be delighted that they didn't, because they're seeing him pretty much near the back of the grid. When I last checked, he was 17th. So Fabio 1.5 tenths of a second ahead. And Johan Zarco and Oliveira still going for it for the battle for second. Of course, a Ducati versus a KTM. And as mentioned, we've got Pit Biro, the motorsport director of KTM, watching on in the garage. It looks like he's having himself an energy drink to get him through the stress. Lap 9 down. 15 laps to go. Quartararo at the moment looks like he's got this in control. He's a second and a half ahead of Zarco. But yeah, Quartararo would have seen what happened with Bagnaia, knowing that it's so easy to just lose control of your bike and then that's it. You're weak. Your race could be gone. Takaki Nakagami is 9th. The number 30 rider. They're currently on board with him. He's leading the front here as they're all... He's got 4 or 5 riders behind him, trying to go for him at 9th place. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. We're currently very close to reaching 3,000 subscribers, so if you haven't yet, do click that subscribe button, especially if you love your MotoGP. 15 laps to go. And yeah, and actually Quartararo is now 2.2 seconds ahead in the race. And it's looking very good for him. And if he wins this race, I think he does lead the championship. They've got a virtual fan wall that they're showing, so at least there's a lot of Valentino Rossi fans, it seems, watching in the fan wall, which is no surprise. So yeah, we're just under 80 subscribers away from reaching 3,000, folks. So do help us get there. Let's try and do it before the end of the race. 14 laps to go. But really, it looks as though there's more of a battle for second and third between Zarco and Oliveira. They're just showing a replay here of Marc Marquez's crash, which... You know, again, luckily, it's so scary when you see a rider come off the track, as in come off the bike, and still on the track. Luckily, he slid, and he was literally just looking behind him straight away, because there was a lot of bikes behind him, and he collided with Morbidelli, the Italian, and, yeah, it was, you know, thank goodness there was no bike going into him after that. Very scary to watch when it comes to MotoGP. Zombat says hello, Zombat. Yeah, get your messages in, folks. Jamie Burgoyne says Lando. Lando Norris fan over there. Yeah, we do Formula 1 watch-alongs as well, folks. We're doing Azerbaijan next weekend, qualifying and the race. So, 2.8 seconds ahead now, Quartararo, who would be delighted to win it for France when after he failed to do it in the Mons 2 weeks ago. So, Zarco and Quartararo, the two French leaders at the moment at the top here. Oliveira for Portugal. Of course, Portugal hosted the Champions League final last night. Any of you Chelsea fans watching, you must be delighted. Commiserations to Man City. Alex Rind and John Mir's overtaken him in the Suzuki. Both teammates, of course. And the Suzuki Suzuki lot in the garage, a little nervous, just hoping that they don't both collide and ruin the race. Ramad asking, where are you from? I'm from the UK, so northwest of England, near in a village called Malpas. It's very nice and sunny here today, just like it is here in Mugello. Around 23 degrees. Lovely day for a race. Just a shame we got no fans for this occasion, especially witnessing Marc Marquez go out the race and a race leader of Bagnaia for Ducati, who left very early on. Now Quartararo is coming up to 3 seconds ahead. He's in a race of his own at this moment in time, folks. And Yamaha would love to, of course, win on this track. Aniket Kadam is watching from India. Pro Legend says, rest in peace, Jason. Yeah, it's really sad. If anyone's only just tuned in, a Moto3 rider passed away probably in the last few hours. I'm not sure exactly when, but after a accident in qualifying yesterday, I believe it was, Jason sadly has passed away because of the injuries sustained while in hospital. So rest in peace to Jason, and condolences to his family on behalf of Let's Talk Sport. It does make racing a little bit more difficult for any rider today. I think, their thoughts will be with him, and I'm sure whoever wins this race will probably dedicate it to Jason and his family. Because at the end of the day, they are family, on the grids, the MotoGP lot. 12 laps to go, 12 laps down. Finally got the camera on board of the doctor himself, Valentino Rossi, now up to 15th for Yamaha SRT. We're just 60 subscribers away, folks, now. Thank you all so far for supporting the channel. If you've clicked that subscribe button, we're just 60 subscribers away from reaching 3,000. So do help us get there before the end of this race if you can. And of course, give the stream a like. Fabio now 3.0 seconds ahead. And he's just going down the straight now towards lap 13. And he just saw the board saying to him exactly 3 seconds ahead, which I'm sure he had a quick glimmer look, knowing that he's doing the right things at the moment. Now down to 2.7 after approaching turn 1. That big spiral. Oliveira in third, with Mir trying to chase him behind after he took over his teammate to go fourth. He'll try and go for that podium spot. But yeah, Miguel for Portugal, doing the country proud if he can get the podium. Sector 1 was a bit slow over from Oliveira. John Gruber says, rest in peace, brave warrior. Yeah, absolutely. I take it that's towards the Moto3 rider of Jason, who sadly passed away. So, Fabio first, 3 seconds ahead of Zarco. Oliveira and Juan Mir still battling it out for third. This could be a very interesting one. Now 3.3 seconds. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Fabio's cruising. We normally see a lot more tighter races at the front than this, but at the moment, Fabio is on a mission. Now, if he wins this race, it'll be his third race win of the season. And it'll help him forget what happened in the Mons. Matty asking, have you seen Bastiani's crash? Yes, in case you're wondering what happened, it seemed as though from the replay that they showed of the back camera of Zarco, he just went right into Zarco pretty much by the end of the warm-up lap. So this was even before the race had even started. Went right into the back of him, flipped the bike, and that was it. He was out of the race before it even started. And I believe they are going to be looking into it at the end of the race from what the stewards have said on the feed. Oliveira still ahead of Mir, only by 0.7 tenths of a second. 10 laps to go. Let us know in the comments, folks. Who do you think's going to win? Is Fabio going to get stopped, or is he pretty much won it already? All it takes is a mistake. All it takes is a moment where it goes against you. But he's looking very relaxed out there on his bike. And even when you see him, there's just a distance away of Zarco in second. But again, the team would love to win this one. They're just showing a replay of Fabio just going on into the distance on the finish straight. I love watching it in slow-mo, the motorbike. And he's doing a wheelie just as he's going over. Well, not an actual wheelie, but he's looking very... He's that up for it. He's that relaxed about it. Nicholas says, in my opinion, Fabio is going to win. We're just 40 subscribers away, folks. Thanks again for that. Keep supporting the channel. 9 laps to go. And it's 3.4 tenths of a second now, Fabio, between Fabio and Zarco. Oliveira still just keeping himself ahead in third. Zarco hasn't had much to worry about in second at the moment, but he can't close that gap on Quartararo. So in case you're wondering, Bagnaia is out, and so is Marc Marquez. Bagnaia was leading the race about just only 2-3 laps in, and then just completely lost the bike and went off the track, and he had no chance of coming back up with the bike he had. It was in pieces. Just completely lost control, it seemed. Be interesting to hear what Bagnaia will say at the end of the race. Ooh, there we go. There you go. 3.6 now between Quartararo and Zarco. Completely agree with what John Gruber has put in the chat page, saying it's Fabio's to lose. Some of you saying Rossi go. He's currently 15th. He's at the start of the race. He was 17th, but he's only gone up by 2, it seems. Kilometers per hour at top speed from Fabio is actually quite low compared to some of the others. 338, 346 for Zarco, and Oliveira at 345. Most of them at in the 340 zone, apart from Vinilas, who's 336. 8 laps to go. So, Quartararo first, Zarco second, Oliveira third. Mir knocking on Oliveira's door to try and get that last spot for podium, at least in the Suzuki. So we've had 3 riders out of the race so far, of Bagnaia, Marquez and Bastianini, but Bastianini shouldn't really have much to say about anything because he went out of the race before the race had even begun. Again, it'll be interesting to hear what he says at the end of the race. 4.1 tenths of a second now for Fabio. It's going one way, this. Razor 10 saying rest in peace, Jason. Yep, absolutely. Such a shame. Real shame. Well, Zarco getting the board up shown to him as he's completed lap 17. Oliveira now second. So Oliveira, who was having to fight to keep his place in third, has been able to get past Zarco. We're just less than 20 subscribers away, folks, from reaching 3,000 subscribers. If you haven't yet, do click subscribe if you love your MotoGP. We do live watch-alongs for all sorts of sports: MotoGP, Formula 1, football, women's football, rugby, tennis, you name it. A lot of sports that we cover here on Let's Talk Sport. And without you guys, of course, our channel wouldn't be possible. So thank you for supporting us. Noor Edit says Fabio full Gaspol. Ep Goal says Rossi 46. Fabio now 4 seconds ahead. I think with all the overtaking going on behind him, it just helps him create that lead with obviously no riders next to him and plenty of space around him. So Juan Mir is now third. He's overtaken Zarco. He's on the medium slicks. Of course, no pit stops expected in this one compared to Le Mans 2 weeks ago. Six laps to go. It's down to 3.8 tenths of a second between Fabio and Oliveira. Could Oliveira, who knows? I can't see him closing the gap with just 6 laps to go, but who knows? But his quickest lap, his race pace of Fabio was lap 8, a 1:46.8. That was his quickest pace in this race so far. But when you look at the last 4 laps, it's all been the same. 1:47.6. Now back at 4 seconds ahead. Johan Zarco, they're just showing a replay, and it looks as though Zarco's got pretty much at the back end of the bike, at the very back, just above the wheel, there's a flap, and it looks as though, it's from the damage that happened between him and Bannion, what happened on the warm-up lap just moments before the race started. So they're just showing the damage in slow-mo. Zarco now down to 5th. You do wonder if that damage might be playing into an effect. I'm not sure. Now Oliveira still second, but Juan Mir would love to finish second, I think. Fabio's just gone down the straight again while that's happening. 5 laps to go, lap 19 of 23. .8 now. Oh, Muir's catching on him. He's catching on him for second. We've got some battle going on here. Sadly, it's not at the very top of the leaderboard, but for second and third, Muir won't just take third. He wants more, but I think in the Drivers' Championship, Fabio will be on 105 points, 26 ahead of Zarco. I might be wrong, but that's what it looks as though the live championship standing is showing us on our feed. A lot of you putting in 46 for Valentino Rossi. He's 14th. He's gone up a little bit, but at this rate, he won't get top 10 on one of his, what I'm sure is one of his favourite circuits, where the fans would normally have the VR 46 flags out for him, with all the flares going up in the stands as well. Excuse me. Always best to mute your mic when you're about to sneeze. Oh no! Oh, who's that? It's one of the Suzuki riders. It's Alex Rins, who was 4th. He's lost his bike at turn 15. Oh, and he's gone right to the tyre barriers as he's literally just kicking it and everything in frustration. He puts his head into one of the tyres. He's so unhappy with that. Let's watch the replay. And, oh, again, just another one losing control there. No one put him in under any pressure. No collision on turn 15 as he was chasing a couple of riders ahead of him. And then he just goes off into the gravel. Motorbiker's done and dusted for the day. And, yeah, he looks very frustrated. Medic team is around him straight after as well to make sure he's okay, but I'm sure he will be. 4 laps to go as we reach lap 20. Fabio is currently 3.6 tenths of a second ahead, so the gap's reduced by 3 tenths since I last checked, but the battle for second seems to be the one to watch out for between Oliveira and Muir. Muir losing Alex Rins, his teammate, just then for Suzuki. And we've reached 3,000 subscribers. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. We've achieved our goal for this stream of reaching 3,000, and it's thanks to you lot at home, so thank you very much indeed. In case you're wondering, we do have a women's game tonight between Lyon and PSG, and whoever wins that will pretty much go on to win the French division. So do join us at 8 PM for that. And if you haven't yet already, folks, we do have a link in our description. If you want to buy us a beer, feel free. Really appreciate it. It goes towards our channel to keep the channel going in the future. And the virtual fan wall watching on the straight as it's now lap 21, just 3 to go. Fabio starting to get a little bit slow, and there's been a crash on turn 14, and it's Nakagami. And yep, he's got a team around him to help him out. The medics, let's watch here. It's on his own again. Goes off after he hit one of the... Oh, it goes right across the track as well. And he's just sliding on his bum into the gravel. And he just knows that he's bottled it there. Well, we've had a lot of retirements today. That's it. I'd say we've had, what, 5 retirements now? A real shame for those riders. John Gruber says, congrats on 3,000 subs. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you all. If you haven't yet, do subscribe. .3 between Fabio and Oliveira. Really, the only thing that's stopping him from winning here in Mugello is himself. And at turn 4, one of the riders went off the track. He hasn't... he had to rejoin the group afterwards, so I think he's... Yeah, there's no crash there, no one going out. I'm not sure which rider it was, it didn't say. 2 laps to go. Fabio Quartararo in first, Oliveira second, Muir fourth, Muir third, Zarco fourth. What am I saying? After we've had Marc Marquez, one of the multiple world champions, go out so early on. And Bagnaia, who was leading the race, not being able to maybe deal with the pressure, you could say. 3.5 seconds. Either way, Fabio's done enough at this moment in terms of his pace. He's completely revitalised himself after what happened 2 weeks ago. He got podium, but he could have won the race in the Mons. Espargaro in 7th at the moment. Where was Espargaro at the start of this race? Oh, he was 4th. Last lap then for Fabio as he goes down the straight. 3.2 tenths of a second now. He's ahead, but he should be alright. It's all in his hands now. Just a simple, clean lap, and he'll go on to win. Oliveira second, Juan Mir third. The showing footage of both garages at the moment, watching nervously in the Suzuki garage after they lost Alex Rins a few laps ago, which of course doesn't help in the constructors. They could have had at least 3rd and 4th come the end of the race. Can Oliveira hold on though? Johan Mir is just behind him. Will he get an opportunity before the checkered flag? They can see Fabio in the distance, but Fabio in my eyes is too far ahead with just a few turns to go. Can Oliveira hold on? Oh, the gap's getting closer. Juan Mir just a little bit behind there. Rossi up to 11th. It's just one overtake away from top 10 finish. Oliveira in his orange motorbike. Can he hold on into the last corner for Fabio? And it's Fabio Quartararo who wins the Italian Grand Prix. Comfortable as you like. The moment Bagnaia went out of the race, he had it in control. And that's his 3rd win of the season. Has Oliveira got there? Yes, he has. Oliveira gets 2nd and Juan Mir gets 3rd. And Zarco looks to be getting 4th. And Fabio, the tears seem to be out for Fabio. He's the cameras are on him at the moment, and he's opened his visor and he's just got his eyes covered in, he's crying. Oh, bless him. But of course, we have just lost Jason today, so our motor-free ride, and I think he is crying for him. What a moment, but he'll definitely dedicate the win to him as he stops the bike and he has a prayer, I think, and looks to the skies. What a moment for Fabio. He knows he leads the championship as well. Oliveira will be demoted by 1 position after exceeding track limits on last lap. Oh, that pressure from Muir got to him, but that means Oliveira will end the race in 3rd, so he'll still get podium. I think KTM, you can see from the KTM director, he's just going to take that on the chin and is probably gutted, but they'll still take the podium here in Mugello. So Suzuki will get 2nd instead. And that means Muir is now 5th in the championship with 69 points after 6 races. He's waving to the race stewards. So they're just showing the incident again. It was on the last lap on turn 5. Now Oliveira going off the track. Ooh. Is that a bit harsh? Ooh, I'm not... Yeah, it's when he's coming back out. Coming off the rubber. Ooh, that is mightily close. Oh, probably just as well. I mean, they've made the decision, so it's not like he's unless they look back into it and ask for another review, but they will still get podium, just not second. It will be third instead. Let us know in the comments, folks. What did you think of that race? I thought it was an absolute cracker. But Fabio again has stopped his bike on the track, and he is just... yeah, he's clearly going to be very emotional with that race win, with what's happened in the last few hours off the track. But, you know, it's funny, isn't it? He rode absolutely brilliantly today. He did an absolute brilliant job. He just controlled it the moment Bagnaia went off the track. Throughout the race, he was creating a 3 to 4 second lead over his fellow riders. And it was just brilliant. So Zarco finished 4th, so he'll be second in the championship now with 81 points. Yeah, Zarco was up there. He was in the top 3 for a majority of the race, from what I can remember. But he's probably a little bit disappointed. But it wasn't his fault with what happened at the start. When, of course, Bastianini, the Italian rider, going into him before the warm-up lap had even finished. Miller is 4th in the championship now. So we've just seen the riders coming back in. Fabio's still out there on his finished lap, as he's getting the applause from all the racing stewards nearby. Of course, most of them are all volunteers who do their best to help the riders out, which is always good to see. Some of them on the pit straight as well, asking for high fives. Nice to see. Binder's 8th in the championship. 35 points for him at the moment. So some of the riders are back. Muir, the Spaniard for Suzuki, he's just having a word with one of his colleagues, it seems. Fabio's still just coming into the garage. Great to see respect from all the engineers from other teams as well, applauding him for the race win. But as I said, the way he dominated the race just shows that maybe because of what happened, he just really, really was determined to win this race today. And you can't stop that. You can never stop a man on a mission. And Fabio showed that today. And yet the Switzerland flag being shown for Jason, who sadly passed away. So, riders are now back in the top 3 of Muir, Oliveira and Fabio. I'm sure they'll do their interviews in just a minute, which we'll play out to you if we get the chance. So let us know in the chat page, folks. Can Fabio be stopped? Because if he carries on riding like that, then he's going to absolutely nail it this season. And if you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe. So the riders just having a word with each other, and then I'm sure we'll hear the interviews in just a moment. They normally do the interviews before they pick up their positions. Oliveira's position has been reinstated due to Muir exceeding track limits on the last lap. So it looks as Oliveira will get second. So ignore the board next to me at the moment, because that is wrong now. It's Oliveira who will get second. He's been reinstated. And they're showing the replay again. And, it's very close. It just shows the margins of error that they have is very, 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 very tight. I think Oliveira and Muir are a bit confused, because 1 minute they think they've got second or third, then the next they get given the opposite. Nakagama's just, he's not very happy. He's in the garage at the moment. He's 12th with 28 points. He'll be disappointed today by going out the race at the very end. Be interesting if we do hear words from Fabio. Here we go then. I think they've got the interviews coming up. Yep, here we go.
Third in Italy with Simon.
Juan, I was convinced you were going to get on the podium today, but it looked harder than I expected. How did it feel?
Well, I'm really tired, honestly. I give all what I had inside of me to get this podium. We already knew that our pace was one of the best ones, and I just go out there and give my best, and at the end I was able to be really constant on the lap times, and then came like last year, like from less to more, and yeah, I was not ready to overtake Miguel. He was doing a great job, and I was losing a lot of time in the first sector. Then to recover this, he was doing a great job. So this podium is for Jason. It was really difficult today to put the helmet on due to this, but this is for him and his family.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Lovely words, befitting of a class rider and a world champion.
So yeah, that was John Muir, who just had his interview. Of course, mainly want to hear what Fabio has to say, because he was very, very emotional when he won the race. To him, he clearly lost a very good man. It's funny hearing Juan Muir just saying that he was tired. Here we go. Here's Oliveira.
Miguel Oliveira, his first podium of 2021. He's with Simon down in Park Fern, mate.
Miguel, big respect. You're a Sunday man. It looked like you didn't put a foot wrong. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was a good race. To be honest, the whole weekend has been pretty strong, and we saw we have one of the best paces. And for sure, in the beginning of the race, I was not comfortable to push immediately on the front tires. I had the hard front, so I was taking it a bit easy at the beginning, and then I got into my rhythm. I saw Johan was starting to slow down. He was struggling a little bit with the tires, so I tried to overtake him and managed to keep Johan Mir behind in the last laps, which was not easy. And I would have liked to have done this podium in different circumstances. Of course, we can be happy, but not completely happy. Our thoughts are definitely with Jason's family right now, and I wish this sport could not be so cruel, but it's what we love to do. It's our passion, I wish all the best to his family.
Miguel, congratulations and big thank you.
Not very easy to add to that. Exactly what Miguel says.
So just waiting for Fabio to hear from him before we wrap up the watch along. So do of course subscribe to the channel, folks, if you haven't already. If you've just tuned in, it's Quartararo who wins the Italian Grand Prix today. So yeah, well done to him. Oliveira again second after some confusion between him and Muir of who exceeded the track limits, and at the end it was Muir, even though they originally said it was Oliveira. And as the interview mentioned, Oliveira did well because he started the race in at least 7th, and straight away he gone up there and was able to get himself into the podium places today. Anyway, here's the interview with Fabio.
Now with Simon.
Fabio, you've been fantastic all through practice and qualifying, and you put it all together in the race. Unreal ride. How did it feel?
Yes, strange day. Honestly, a lot of emotion before to start the race. I get emotion really fast in every condition. So to start the race, doing that, 1 minute of silence was really difficult. And every time I crossed the turn 9, I was thinking about Jason, and yes, this one is for him. And yes, in general, has been a good weekend for us. I want to dedicate this one to my mom, that in France is Mom's Day. So yes, I'm not so, it's not great feeling. You achieve a win, but we lose one of our friends, so not easy.
Thank you, Fabio.
Let's open a few more questions there for Fabio, but clearly very emotional at the moment. He's got the Switzerland flag with him as well for Jason, who of course passed away after yesterday's accident, which sadly he died from the injuries from it, and it was announced literally not long before the race had started. So as they all said, it's not easy to put on a race helmet when you lose a friend on the track, regardless of their rivalries. They clearly want to make sure everyone is safe in the sport. They're just showing the race-winning overtake now of Fabio going past what I think was, it was Bagnaia of Ducati that he overtook, and then of course Bagnaia went out of the race after he was leading as well. So anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up, folks. So thank you all for watching the watch along this afternoon, for joining me and watching the Italian Grand Prix. Really, really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, do subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing future MotoGP races when we can. And of course, next weekend, for any of you motorsport fans, we'll be doing the watch along for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. So of course, give this stream a like, do subscribe, and if you really want, feel free to buy me a beer, which is the PayPal link in the description below if you want as well, to pretty much help us support the channel going forward. So thank you all, and we'll see you very soon here on Let's Talk Sport.